Have you ever felt a connection with a woman and wondered if she feels it too, but just couldn't tell? You're not alone. Most men are so focused on trying to impress, decode every message, or figure out if she's interested that they completely miss the signs she's already falling for them. Here's the surprising truth. When a woman genuinely starts developing deep feelings, she doesn't always make it obvious. In fact, the stronger her feelings become, the more subtle and sometimes even contradictory her signals appear. That nervous laughter, those thoughtful messages, the way she positions herself near you, these are all signs of her emotions quietly building. And here's something psychologists have discovered. There's one sign so powerful it's almost impossible to fake. It's a behavior that reveals, without doubt, that she's emotionally invested. But most men overlook it entirely because it doesn't look like the classic signs of attraction. Throughout this video, we're going to explore the psychological patterns and hidden behaviors that reveal when a woman is past casual interest and truly caught in the feelings. You'll learn the subtle cues, the small gestures, and the one mistake that makes her hide her emotions entirely. By the end, you'll know exactly what to look for and finally see what most men miss entirely. Get ready, because what you're about to discover will change the way you understand female psychology and attraction forever. One of the biggest reasons men misread women is simple. Our brains process emotional information differently. Male and female brains interpret social cues, body language, and subtle emotional signals in very different ways. What seems obvious to her, like a nervous glance, a fleeting touch, or the way she lingers near you, can easily be overlooked or misunderstood. Here's the key. When a woman starts developing strong feelings, her behavior often changes in ways that can appear contradictory. She may text you first, then hesitate before replying. She might laugh at your jokes but quickly look away when you catch her eye. She agrees to spend time with you, yet seems slightly fidgety or reserved. Many men see this as disinterest and start to pull back, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Psychologists call this a defense mechanism. When vulnerability is at stake, women instinctively protect their emotions. Falling for someone feels risky, and the deeper the feelings, the more carefully they manage how much of themselves they reveal. The hesitation, the small pauses, the careful consideration, it's all her way of safeguarding her heart while still showing interest. Even neuroscientists have noticed this. Certain parts of the female brain light up when she's emotionally invested in someone, especially areas linked to obsession and emotional processing. That intensity can make her behavior seem inconsistent, but it's not about losing interest. It's about controlling the risk of being hurt. So the next time you see her acting nervous or careful around you, don't mistake it for rejection. These subtle cues are the brain's way of saying, I care deeply. Understanding this difference is the first step towards seeing her true feelings behind the surface level signals. When a woman starts falling for someone, her emotions can become surprisingly intense, even if she tries to hide them. This isn't just being shy or playing hard to get. It's a genuine emotional overwhelm, where excitement, fear, and vulnerability all collide at once. And the way it shows up is often subtle, almost invisible to most men. You might notice small behaviors that seem minor but actually reveal a lot. She might play with her hair, touch her neck, fidget with a bracelet, or adjust her clothing. Her voice may change slightly, softer, higher, or a little hesitant. She might laugh more at your jokes or linger in your presence just a bit longer than normal. These self-soothing behaviors are her body's way of managing emotional intensity while keeping composure. Neuroscience has shown that when women experience these strong feelings, the same areas of the brain that are active in obsessive or compulsive thought patterns light up. In other words, her mind is constantly thinking about you, even if her outward behavior seems cautious. That nervous energy isn't disinterest, it's internal excitement, mixed with the natural fear of showing how much she cares. The key takeaway: don't misinterpret these subtle signals as rejection. Instead, see them as a window into her feelings, a clue that she's emotionally invested, even if she's not ready to say it out loud. Recognizing these patterns is one of the first steps in understanding when she's truly falling for you.
If you want to truly understand when a woman is falling for you, the first rule is this: watch what she does, not just what she says. Words can be filtered, rehearsed, or cautious, but actions are much harder to fake. They reveal what she's actually feeling beneath the surface. Pay attention to the little things she does when she thinks you're not noticing. Does she remember small details about your life that you mentioned weeks ago? Does she subtly position herself near you in social settings, even if she's talking to someone else? Does she watch you when she thinks you aren't looking? These behaviors may seem insignificant at first, but they carry enormous meaning. Psychologists call this behavioral leakage. Even when someone tries to hide their emotions, their body and actions often reveal them unintentionally. In other words, her gestures, her positioning, and the care she puts into remembering your words are all breadcrumbs leading to the truth. She's emotionally invested. By learning to notice these subtle cues, you start seeing her feelings clearly, even when she's not openly expressing them. And later in this video, we'll reveal the single behavior that is almost impossible to fake, the ultimate confirmation that she has truly fallen for you. One of the clearest signs a woman is falling for you is how much she remembers about your life. And not just the big moments, but the smallest details. That casual comment you made 3 weeks ago about your favorite childhood snack? She stored it. The story about your dog when you were 12? She remembers that too. Most people forget these small things, but when a woman is emotionally invested, she treats these details like treasures. This is not coincidence. Psychologists explain that when someone is attracted to us, their brain subconsciously catalogs every piece of information that helps form a complete picture of who we are. It's her way of showing that you matter. And the timing of when she brings these details up matters even more. She doesn't just recall them immediately, she mentions them later in casual conversation as if it's no big deal. That's her quietly signaling, I think about you constantly, even when you're not around. What makes this sign so powerful is that it's impossible to fake consistently. She can't manufacture months of memory storage or spontaneous recall. When she brings up a past detail in the right moment, it's proof of ongoing attention and emotional investment. So, the next time she surprises you by remembering something you said long ago, don't dismiss it as politeness or coincidence. That small gesture is a window into her feelings. It shows she values you, thinks about you, and is quietly building a mental map of your life because you're becoming increasingly important to her.
Another strong indicator that a woman is falling for you is the way she consistently finds subtle ways to be near you. This isn't about obvious over-the-top gestures. It's about the small, almost unconscious behaviors that reveal where her attention truly lies. You may notice her showing up in places you frequent, seemingly by coincidence. She might volunteer for the same projects, sit near you at group events, or choose the same route when walking or commuting. Even in social gatherings, she gravitates toward your side of the room. These behaviors are not accidental. They're her way of staying close to you without forcing the situation. Research in behavioral psychology shows that humans naturally reduce physical distance to people they are drawn to. This proximity is primal. It signals attraction, interest, and a desire to connect. Women may not consciously think, I want to be within 3 feet of him, but their body and subconscious mind are guiding them closer. There's even a subtle cue that reveals her focus, the direction of her feet. If her feet point toward you, even when her body is facing someone else, it's a subconscious indicator of attention and interest. This small detail is one of the most reliable signs that her mind and heart is focused on you. So, notice these patterns. When she consistently makes small adjustments to be closer to you, it's more than casual friendship. It's a sign she's emotionally invested and drawn to you on a deeper level than you might realize. When a woman is falling for someone, her nervousness often increases, but not in the way most men think. This isn't I'm uncomfortable nervousness. It's the kind that shows her emotions are heightened and her body is reacting to the intensity of her feelings. You might notice her playing with her hair, touching her neck, adjusting her jewelry, or fidgeting with her hands. Her voice might become slightly higher or softer. These are all self-soothing behaviors, her subconscious way of calming herself when she's emotionally stimulated. Her nervous energy isn't about being unsure of you. It's about managing the thrill and vulnerability she feels in your presence. Body language experts explain that repeated gestures, even small ones, often indicate a strong internal desire to connect physically or emotionally. She may even unconsciously resist touching you directly, balancing the desire to get close with the fear of revealing how much she cares. This is why some men misinterpret nervousness as disinterest. It's exactly the opposite. The important takeaway: when you see these subtle signals, pay attention. They indicate she feels safe with you enough to let her emotions show, even if only in small, indirect ways. Her nervousness is a sign that her feelings are deepening, and she's actively navigating the fine line between attraction and vulnerability. Recognizing this can help you understand the depth of her emotional investment. Sometimes, a woman may say something that sounds like she's putting you in the friend zone, but in reality, it's a sign of deep attachment. Phrases like, "You're so important to me," or "I don't want to lose you," can feel confusing at first, especially if you interpret them as casual statements. Here's the truth: these words often reveal fear, not rejection. She's signaling that her feelings are getting serious and that she values you enough to worry about losing your presence in her life. Instead of pushing you away, she's admitting, subtly, that she's emotionally invested and hopes you reciprocate. Psychologists call this emotional signaling. It's her way of expressing vulnerability without fully exposing her heart. While it may seem like she's cautioning you, she's actually testing the waters to see if you feel the same way. The depth of her concern, paired with these carefully chosen words, is a strong indicator that she's falling for you. The takeaway: when you hear this kind of phrase, don't panic or misinterpret it as friendship. Listen carefully and recognize it as a cue that she's emotionally invested and quietly hoping you understand her feelings. Another key sign that a woman is falling for you is how much she values your opinion. This isn't casual curiosity. It's a sign that she trusts you, respects your perspective, and considers your input when making decisions that matter to her. She might ask what you think about her career choices, a new haircut, or even a book she's reading. But here's the important part: she doesn't just nod and move on. She reflects on your advice, sometimes letting it influence her choices. This shows that your thoughts are shaping her world, and that only happens when someone truly matters to her. Psychologists note that when someone starts imagining a future with a partner, they naturally begin testing your perspective. Questions about plans, goals, or hypothetical scenarios are subtle ways of seeing if your values align and if you could fit into her life long term. This is a clear indicator of emotional investment. She's not just interested in the present, she's considering the possibilities of a future with you. The takeaway: if she consistently seeks your input and shows that your opinions affect her decisions, it's a strong signal that she's emotionally attached. She's thinking about you deeply, valuing your thoughts, and integrating them into her own life. Clear signs that she's well past casual interest. The clearest sign a woman has truly fallen for you is when she starts prioritizing your well-being over her own comfort. Psychologists call this costly signaling, when someone invests time, energy, or resources for another person without expecting anything in return. This behavior is a powerful indicator of deep emotional attachment. For example, she might drive across town to bring you soup when you're sick, cancel her own plans to spend time with you, or defend you in social situations even if it costs her socially. These gestures go beyond casual interest. They show she is willing to sacrifice her convenience, comfort, and sometimes reputation for your sake. Humans only do this when emotional investment is strong and genuine. This behavior is different from superficial acts of kindness. It's consistent, intentional, and often done quietly, without drawing attention to itself. She doesn't need praise or recognition. She simply wants to care for you because you've become incredibly important in her life. Additionally, there are subtle physical cues that often accompany this deep investment. For instance, when she stands near you, if her feet are pointed toward you, even while talking to someone else, it indicates her attention and energy are subconsciously focused on you. This small body language detail reinforces everything her actions are already signaling. In short, when a woman consistently puts your needs above her own, she's no longer just interested, she's fully emotionally invested. This is the ultimate confirmation that she has fallen, and it's a signal that you're worth the risk she's taking by opening her heart.